Hey, welcome back, and in today's video, it's good to be here. I've got new lighting. I've upgraded to the Elgato stuff, and it's okay. I mean, I think it's okay. You tell me what you think, but in today's video, we're going to be talking about Shane Dawson and his inevitable return, which it's obviously going to happen. And it's rumored that it's going to be on the back of a Britney Spears documentary. That means he's going to be opened up to a whole new audience of viewers from the Britney Spears fans that have no idea of the past situations to do with him. We're going to be talking about how he's been going about doing this and a couple other things in today's video of exploring YouTubers. Almost forgot the name. So if you're completely unfamiliar, Shane Dawson is an American YouTuber. His real name is Shane Lee Yaw. He's become one of the first people to rise in fame on the video sharing platform in 2008 at the age of 19 years old. He has a YouTube channel with over 20 million subscribers, 20.3 million. He's got an Instagram with over 8.6 million, and Twitter with over 8.8 million. Now, if you don't exactly remember, he was obviously canceled, but what was he canceled for? Well, I'm glad you asked. Shane Dawson released the video Secret World of Jeffree Star that's viewed really close to 50 million times. This was the first video, followed by 12 more in a series that broke ground on a path that would see Dawson and Star collaborate on the busiest beauty launch of 2019, the Shane and Jeffree Star Conspiracy Collection, which, as you can see, is no longer featured in the Jeffree Star's Cosmetics website. Now, clearly and obviously, the reason for this is the backlash surrounding Shane Dawson. He didn't want to be connected to that. And just to make sure, I searched Shane Dawson in the store, and there's no results. This is what the conspiracy palette looked like for anybody that wants to know. They marketed it with pictures like this, and this. So when they were working together, their influence was massive. But then Toddy Westbrook come out with her video. The video was titled Breaking My Silence. This is a re-upload because it's since been taken completely down, but it pretty much confirmed the manipulation of Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star towards her to do with James Charles.
Shane said that James Charles was a monster and that James Charles was hurting minors. Shane said he was planning to interview victims for the docuseries. He told me that something needed to be done to stop him from hurting more people. Over the course of the next few weeks, he and Jeffree fed me so much information that I felt sick. Almost every day, there was more information and new allegations. Eventually, I started believing what they were saying because they said they had evidence. By the time the drama around James Charles's promotion of Sugar Bear Hair reached its peak, I was beyond gaslit.
And that's what caused her to release the video Bye Sister. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this video, it was originally titled Bye Sister. Now, it's obviously no longer available as she's taken it down. But initially, this video was because, well, people thought it was because he promoted a competitor brand of multivitamin or gummy. It was a competitor, and that was seemingly the last straw. There was a couple videos by YouTuber D'Angelo Wallace. He did a series breakdown to where he talked about all the events surrounding this situation. I believe one or two of his videos he's taken down because after the news of James Charles and the new alleged things that he's done, he didn't want that content up anymore because it almost absolved James Charles of the situations that he's currently ongoing to. What is that word? But there are a couple re-uploads. I'll put those in the pinned comment because it gives a little bit more context of the situation overall.
Shane Dawson didn't just know about my Bye Sister video. He offered to help edit it. He even offered to design the thumbnail and help title it. I declined his offer, but his gesture supported and reinforced for me that he was telling the truth. Why else would he jeopardize his career?
And so because of this and how big it was, a huge lens was projected onto Shane Dawson, and people started looking into his past to see if there were terrible things just like Jeffree Star. And just so you're completely aware, Jeffree Star's been accused of RACE-ism in the past. very terrible behavior, and we're not going to go into that because that's not what this video is about. But I do have a montage for you to watch with me. We can watch this together, and it does showcase a broad range in the spectrum of just the most hateful things that you have ever seen.
By having diamond rings, and you win by being informed.
Girl, darker than Martin Luther King.
Well, maybe if she wasn't wearing the wrong foundation color, I wouldn't have to splash no battery acid. I wanted to lighten her skin tone, girl. Who, that little black Keisha? Now, do you have Keisha's number? I need her to wash my car. Shut up, you
So Shane Dawson's past, well, it was none too much better, and in the face of this this knowledge that he's about to return to the internet, I only think that it's fair that we bring back up the things that he was canceled for in the very first place. So let's go over it. I found another compilation. It's weird because it's like you can find compilations of all the things that Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, all just the terrible things that they've done. But I found a compilation, also will be in the pinned comment, along with the Jeffree Star compilation. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna go through this step by step to show you. Starting with this.
Sister, talk about a two-way twister, shaking up the family tree with. And my boo Randy, yo man, we got a hot one right here. We got a hot one right here.
Oh, big monkey woman, you're the best!
So he did that. He would put makeup on his face in a very offensive way. He also made fun of Asian people.
Ching chong wong, ching chong dong ding dong. That means go buy my new song. Ding ding wang wang ding 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 chi. Look at me, I'm eating sushi. I like to make my eyes all Japanesey. Ching out chow chi don't chi.
Oh my gosh, y'all, picture time.
He would say absolutely just terrible things about Hispanics and generally just any culture, anything that he could find that was offensive, but he would take it to the point where it's just like, it's not a joke. There's no humor found within it. It's just specifically meant to afflict and hurt those people.
Who's gonna clean that up? Lupe! I hope my maid doesn't slip on this, because you know how maids like to file lawsuits.
No, I had to go to the doctor's today, and they said I had swine flu, and that I got it from a friend.
You must have got it from some sick, dirty, nasty man or something. Ew.
He would also go as far to make fun of SA survivors and situations like this, and this is very bad as well. All of these specific situations further these type of agendas.
Oh, good, she's passed out. Now make me some grandkids. I'll give you two some privacy. Uh-oh. Never leave your cup uncovered on Degrassi. That's how losers get dipped. Ha! Loser! Loser!
Yes, all of these things are absolutely disgusting, and they're all things from his past that he's apologized for and he's talked about. But some things, even if you apologize for it, still further these types of cultures and still make, it still hurts the people. And some of the things are just too gross. Like they're unforgivable. Like it's just nasty, especially when it comes to children. One thing you don't hear people talking about, and I don't understand why you don't hear people talk about this, is at one point in time, he had this blog thing. And he would post these things, and he would say things like, show me your this kind of face, and he would say things like, I'm filming a PORN video and you're the star, show me your best move. I tweeted back in July 7th, 2020, all right, Shane Dawson stands, give me a good reason why this pattern of behavior is okay. What is a good, logical reason for asking these types of things over and over again? And it was a different time, or he apologized is not a valid response. Let's take a look at this. He says things like, show me your feet, show me your mouth, show me your best move. Show me your crotch, that's terrible. There was one that said, show me your pose if you were having a child. Here's one that says, show me your best BJ face, lol. It's all for a new video. No, I have to ask, why is all this stuff being asked to kids? And it was kids. Like, I can't show you, but these were 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds. These were very, very, very young children that he was asking these types of things to. And they would just pour in with the comments and their pictures and just giving him what he asked for. And at this point, it's not comedy. There's no valid excuse for this type of behavior. It's just not going to happen. I don't care if it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like, and there's so much more. Like, I could be here for hours just pouring examples into this type of thing. And no, the behavior didn't get better over time. As we saw, he had this freak out video to do with Toddy. And it really showed his character. Like, it was bleeding in through the screen. Like, that's when we were all like, whoa, wait a second here. And now here he's going to make his comeback. And I hear it's going to be the Britney Spears movement. One Twitter user says, Shane Dawson has been interviewing people about Free Britney. It is rumored that the Free Britney documentary will be his comeback to YouTube. Another person saying, sources have told us that Shane Dawson is working on a Free Britney documentary. They tell us he plans to use this huge increase in popularity in the Britney Spears and her current legal struggles to relaunch his YouTube channel and shift attention away from his own controversies. So, obviously, this is what I'm doing here. This is what this video is about, because I'm not about to let this type of behavior shift attention away from exactly why he was canceled. Now, this isn't one of those situations where, he needs to be forgiven from the stuff from his past. He was younger. It's 10 years. It was a different time. No, these are borderline criminal activities. It's nasty, and I don't know if any of you guys have seen what he did, like him kissing the dog, but the dog didn't consent to that. That's disgusting. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, he puts peanut butter in his mouth, and oh my God. It's absolutely disgusting. So he's been making these rounds on the internet. This article says, Shane Dawson returns to Instagram to share emotional message about mental health. And that's what he's been doing. He's been popping back in to say things. And I'm not trying to say that the dude's not having mental health issues. He very well may be. But given the circumstances and the things that he has not addressed or apologized for, I mean, even Jeffree Star has made attempts to apologize at the very least, but he has been ignoring these specific things, and he's been coming back, and it looks to be like he's trying to share a sympathetic side to himself. In his last Instagram post, he says, Dad's left the house. P.S. I know I haven't posted a video in a long time, and I promise it's not because I don't want to. I'm just trying to stay in a good mindset and be happy. I promise I'm not going to abandon my channel after 15 years of creating. I just been reevaluating my life the last year and figuring out what I want to do with it. Life is short, and I'm grateful for every second of it. I hope you guys are doing well. I miss you. Clearly, he has support, because this has nearly 1 million likes. And I don't want to just think that I'm being some cold, heartless human being here, or that there's something that I'm not connecting with on an empathy level. So I'm going to need your help here in the comments section. Should he be forgiven for the things that he's done? And no, I'm not talking about the just really terrible, tasteless jokes. He calls them jokes. I'm talking about what he's done towards animals and children. Like, is that How do you navigate that? Where's the cross-off line? Maybe you can help me clarify my consciousness on this. I think his most recent post was also about mental health, saying life was so short. It was inspirational at the very least. It said, life is so short and there's so much left for you to do. There's so many interesting people for you to meet. I think that's a great thing. And this next post here was the National Prevention Lifeline. I fully support that. But that paired with how he's been, his whole tone about the situation. Like he was seen on Ryland's podcast. We're going to bring this up in a second, but he was seen on Ryland's podcast and he's just trying to brush this stuff under the rug as stupid internet drama. One article from Insider that was posted November 20th, 2020 by yours truly, Kat Tinbarge, says embattled YouTube star Shane Dawson is slowly staging a comeback built around sympathy. Now, obviously, I'm going to put this in the pinned comments so you guys can read this. I think it's broken down really well and explains this type of situation. And it's weird because it's on a thin line of like you got Shane Dawson expressing his emotions. You don't want to invalidate anybody's emotions and say that they're not feeling these things that they're feeling. But it's a tough line to tread. He talks about after months of near radio silence after his devastating cancellation in a series of public scandals that summer, he went into hiding where, yes, he absolutely went radio silent. But in his appearance in Ryland's videos, he talks about how they lost their cat, which I do sympathize with that. It's extremely hard not to. The article says that there's almost nothing more sympathy-inducing than the loss of a pet. I agree with that. Particularly under such unfortunate circumstances. The comment section was full of support, which Dawson noted in a comment was surprising, writing, "I wasn't going to look at the comments on this video, but I'm so glad that I did." And at the same time, and this is this is where it gets me. At the same time, he uses this as an opportunity to acknowledge his troubled year on the internet and downplay the seriousness of the situations and kind of like push them aside. And I'm going to show you this.
So it's like it was planned. Like Mario came when I needed him most, and I needed to feel unconditional love, and I needed to remember, like, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into the internet shit because it feels so stupid right now, like, to even think about that. But it was a thing. It was like having something like a person. I mean, it's a cat, but
he's made multiple appearances in Ryland's podcast. He's been making merchandise. One YouTuber named Pastel Bell actually encapsulates something that I feel and I completely do agree with. So I'm going to play this clip from one of her videos, and you guys let me know how you resonate with her words.
Has spent more time self-victimizing than he has actually acknowledged the victims that he has caused in real life. Also on his Instagram story, he's constantly posting about his Animal Crossing village and like his anxiety and his mental health and stuff like that, which like there's nothing wrong with posting about your Animal Crossing village. I don't care. If you want to do that, if it makes you happy, go right ahead. If you want to talk about your mental health and normalize talking about it, normalize going to therapy, advocating for mental health, I think that's a wonderful, amazing thing to do. And I think more people should do that. However, doing that is not a replacement for taking accountability for your actions. You can't do one and choose to not do the other, because by doing only one of them, you are choosing to make yourself look as sympathetic to the audience as possible. You are trying to make it so that your audience forgets all the problematic stuff that you have done, and they focus on who you are now, which is this wholesome creator, this sad old man that lives in his house and takes care of his pets and loves his cat and gardens and, all these wholesome things. And they will forget that Shane Dawson is the same person that made his money off of getting kids to tweet for him and saying the N-word. This is just a way of subverting criticism by making himself look like he is the victim of online hate, when in reality he is a 32-year-old millionaire who made his millions doing blackface, kids, and manipulating his audience. This is a man who has an estimated net worth of $12 million, who, despite having not worked in the last year, has done nothing but play video games, buy luxury goods, and take expensive vacations with his fiancée. Do not let him trick you into thinking that this change is anything more than a carefully calculated rebrand, now that 2009 YouTube culture is no longer profitable.
Man, she went hard on that one. I don't even think I could go that hard. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm easily manipulated or anything, but when I see somebody that like hurts, or even if they're acting like it, like my mirror neurons are just like, no, don't hurt. Have a positivity turtle. Speaking of that, put some positivity turtles in the chat. This video has been difficult for a lot of reasons that I will talk about after this little bitty outro. So as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up, those likes, as always, brothers and sisters. I will see you in the next video. So this is weird for me because like I've recorded everything's different. Like I've been talking to multiple different YouTubers and trying to like fix my workflow because what I was doing before was fine. It was just like I like to upload more often, and I have a tendency to push myself to the limits, and my mental health is usually strained. And I know people's always like, oh no, you're mental health first, and I completely agree with that, and you're right, but I have a tendency not to do that. So I've been trying to like fix my workflow, talking to other YouTubers, seeing how they do it, and I've found out that although my way isn't exactly wrong, and it's like honestly the best way to do it if you're looking for the highest quality, I feel like it's not the most optimized way for me to deliver this material, meaning that it's really difficult. It's like I'm putting on a whole production every day and editing videos, sometimes up to 16 hours, barely sleeping. And in this way, if this works like it's supposed to, then I'll be able to edit. It'll take my edit time down because I'm mostly using OBS, and this is the first video that I've done with it, so there's a lot of probably errors. Maybe you didn't notice any of them, and if that's the case, that's awesome, because then it just means that it's just a me thing. But I am going to try to do more uploads this week, and these lights, I got to fix these lights, figure them out, because my main light that I used to use was an old one that used an umbrella, and it was just for photography, and it hurt my eyes. So like it's like you have this blaring light that just burns your eyes, and these are like LEDs, the Elgato lights, and so far so good. I don't feel like my eyes are hurting or strained or anything like that. I don't have to use like Visine for like screen tired eyes. So we're gonna see where we're going with this, but I want to thank my patrons. If you want to support what I do here on the channel, become a patron, get your name at the end of my videos. The link to that will be in the pinned comment. I love you guys. Don't forget to put chapstick on because makes the lips not chapped, and it's just another way to show that you're repping. And if you're not repping, you're Greg, and how you do that, all you gotta do is subscribe and notifications turned on, be in the comment section for every single video, because I'm gonna be there. Greg the cat's gonna be there, and the rest of the Repzilla community as well, and I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you.